I feel like he's doing a bit of deflection tactics because he has not. I get it. He has not been good this season. I get that him being dropped 3 times. He may not like it because all footballers want to play, but honestly, him playing or not playing, I don't really know what much difference he makes. In Arsenal, man, it seems like the club has thrown me under the bus. That's how I feel. I could not believe I was on the bench for 90 minutes. This is the third time on the bench. I think it's the first time in my career. I've done so much for this club. I used to have a good relationship with the manager. Now, all of a sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. Seems to me like someone does not want me in the club.
6 million ways to die. Choose one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hurricane of Football podcast. Today, we'll be reviewing the matches that occurred over the weekend. A lot of action-packed games, a lot of crazy results, actually. And today, I'm joined with Seth. Just Seth today. Seth, how are you feeling? What do you think about the matches played?
This week were most of them had surprising results. Some of them were unexpected. For example, let's focus on Arsenal. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Look, a lot of people wouldn't have expected Aston Villa to have beaten Arsenal. Even though they have been on good form, people expect Arsenal to be able to manage. But then again, if you look back, Arsenal have due to their recent injuries to Gabriel and Saliba, so their defense has not been that solid. It also has affected them with set pieces because Gabriel used to be one of their key pillars when it comes to set pieces, set piece deliveries. So and winning of the second balls to give some time assist to the strikers. That has gone down a bit. Also, feel like they didn't the Eze has been a moments player rather than a consistent threat in every single match. So, there are matches where he scores a lot of goals. Like for example, against Tottenham, that always scored a hat trick. He scored a winner against Crystal Palace and some others, but it's not really been consistent. And if Arsenal want to win the league, they will need him to be firing consistently. Trossard was brought on for Eze. He scored a goal, but then had to go back injured again. Arsenal did have some chances. There some, I think in the second half, some 15 minutes, 20 minutes per where they were attacking. Odegaard had some shots, but honestly, I feel like Arsenal really need their starters back to full fitness to be able to get back to their very best because we are in December and a lot of games every 3 years people are going to be playing games, so they need everybody very fit and fine. Otherwise, they might end up losing their top spot positions, especially with City going on the form. It looks like now Foden has also picked up form. So Arsenal really need to get their act back together. We have to give credit to Arsenal. Like I said, he started the season 5 wins, 5 matches. Without a win, they have not even scored goals. But Emery has done well, considering the turbulent summer they had, where they struggled to really keep the best players that helped improve them last season. In Marcus Rashford and Asensio, Harvey Elliott this season has not even played. Harvey Elliott this season hasn't played. Jadon Sancho on and off. So Evan Gerson hasn't really had a lot of memorable moments. So honestly, Emery is proving that he is a top coach, and his time at Arsenal shouldn't be used as a beating stick for him. And I'm happy with what he's doing, but it feels like he took that sacking personally. Anytime Arsenal have a chance to win the league, they end up losing to Aston Villa, which end up affecting the long run. Ferdinand, what do you think?
Um, I was actually surprised Arsenal lost this game, but to be fair to them, they were missing Gabriel and Saliba, and even they lost Hincapié this game too. So they were using a makeshift, even though you qualify Timber as also a centre back, but like right now at this point, I don't think that's his best position. So it was a difficult match to get through, especially with them losing most of their backline. And even though those who came to replace them were not bad options, this season so far, this is their first time using that back four, so it would have been difficult for them to avoid conceding chances. And yeah, one thing today subbed Eze in the first half. After the first half, and I'm it was confusing. I think they subbed him for Trossard, and they subbed
Yeah,
Trossard before the game ended too.
yeah.
So,
Trossard got. Yeah, I feel like he got injured again. So
oh,
that
okay,
was
that
why.
makes sense. And funny enough, I saw a Tottenham fan after uh, trolling Arsenal for trolling Izzy with that Let It All Work Out song, and it was like, what's this weird thing? Anyway, let me not divert. From that match, depending on when
Yeah,
Arsenal gets their players back, I feel like they should bounce back from that result. Plus, Aston Villa have been causing them trouble over the years, so it's not really that shocking results. I feel like Arsenal will bounce back and they'll start playing better. They'll recover their defensive solidity, but it will be difficult, especially in the Champions League. This
the Champions League. I feel like the Champions League is. But the time all the players will return, they will have. The time the players return, the Champions League they already qualified. I think we finished top eight. That one isn't really much of a concern. I think at the moment, the rest of the matches they are manageable. Champions League, I think they'll be fine. So then let's move on to the next match, which was Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Chelsea are a weird club. Honestly, Chelsea are a weird club. They don't make sense to me as a club. When it's good time for the big games, they are up for it. They are putting it their all. But when it's time for matches which against the quote unquote smaller teams, it's like they have no interest in the match. Chelsea are a weird club. They have no interest in the match. Don't want players don't put in their best. I feel like yeah, if Enzo Maresca doesn't get that sorted anytime soon, I feel like they might just end up finishing third or fourth. That's what I think. And to think a week ago after they drew with Arsenal, their fans were all over the place saying they're in the title race. Then yeah, I don't know, their fans were going all over the place trying to argue with Arsenal fans and whatnot within a space of 2 match days. They lost to Leeds humble, then also they drew against Bournemouth. And Bournemouth have not been in good form. Bournemouth, I think their last 5 matches, they have lost three and drawn one before this match. Chelsea really blew it, but it's Chelsea. And I think it's not really a last match. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I saw something on social media that Chelsea like normally struggle when it's in December. I don't know whether it's the weather or something, but
Yeah,
you
last
don't
season. Yeah, I remember last season too. They also supposed to be in the title race and in December they lost so many matches.
yeah,
Then they basically dropped out.
yeah, considering they had Cole Palmer back for this match. I mean, this is first game back from
He
like
even
his
had
first start back from injury, so you wouldn't expect him to be fully
he
fit
even
and
got substituted though. He even got substituted at some
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but well, they'll need time. Cole Palmer will need time to get back to full fitness. I feel like once he gets back to full fitness, Chelsea will be difficult to beat. They'll be one of the they're already one of the best teams in the Premier League right now, and I feel like once I mean they have a lot of young players too. Once I don't know how they can be consistent because within games,
Yeah,
immaturity will cause them to make silly mistakes because times where players should be for instance, a player like Garnacho or even, in fact, all of their forwards are young. Instead of like, because of youth and immaturity, they might have a tendency to shoot when they should pass and stuff like that. So I feel like once they'll get through this season won't be too bad. I don't think they'll win the league though. I think they'll finish maybe third or something. But they'll have similar results like this throughout the season, and they'll finish maybe like third or fourth behind United, who finish second or first.
yeah, okay. Dreaming is free. But before I move on from Chelsea, I'll say Liam Delap for me, his signing hasn't been that great. I don't know. I feel like he's not talked about enough. It's about time because when Nicolas Jackson wasn't scoring goals and missing chances, Chelsea fans were all over his case. I feel like with Liam Delap, there's a bit of leeway. But, well, let's see. Right now he's injured again. He's injured his I think his shoulder. So let's see how long that will keep him out for.
Yeah.
Another person to Joao Pedro for me. I feel like Joao Pedro he peaked at the Club World Cup and since then he has gone a bit downhill for me. Joao Pedro. I don't feel like he has been at his best since the
Yeah,
Club World Cup.
yeah,
Let's move
but
on. Okay, has never actually been a consistent goal scorer too. That's also
yeah,
another
but
thing.
he's a number 10 and he works best if he's playing with another striker. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should now move on to. So that I just feel our player has been a bit disappointing. So now let's move on to the next match, which is City Sunderland. Yeah, I feel City are back. Yeah, really, I think Phil Foden has been is now picking up form, and the difference between Arsenal and Man City is Man City have a lot of players that if they have to pick up form, they can score at least 15 to 20 goals. Arsenal, on the other hand, I don't. I think they don't really have a lot of players that can say this player is a guaranteed 20 goals or 15 goals. Maybe Saka. Other than that, if Eze is to break his form up, you could say that Odegaard, since their first title run they had, where I think he scored 15 goals, and also Gabriel Martinelli chipped in, I think 14 or 15 goals. He has not reached those heights. So yeah, Man City are back, and in this match they had some scares during periods of the game, but Sunderland hitting the post, but they really handled it professionally. Ruben Diaz with a long range shot for the first goal. Valdio with the second, and Ryan Cherky with a Rabona assist for Phil Foden. Ryan Cherky he's a joy to watch. He's a joy to watch. And I feel like when at this moment that they are and in this match too, they managed to keep a clean sheet, which they have not done in their last two matches where they led twice, then Leeds came to draw, Leeds played them back twice for it to come to for them score the winner. And against Fulham where they're leading 5-1 about 15 minutes gone, only for the match to end up finishing 5-4. But this match they didn't concede any goals, so I think they'll be happy with that. Yeah, what do you think about City?
Before the Ruben Diaz goal, I think Sunderland were keeping them. Sunderland were in the game. They were defending well. They kept their defensive shape, and it was only through a goal like that, like a worldie, that Sunderland had to break up their shape and open up in order to try and get the goal, and that's what gave City the opportunity to start creating. Brian Checky, from his Lyon days, you could see he had the talent. Yeah, he was a very skillful player even then, chance creator and stuff like that. So bringing him into this side with goal scorers that he can feed, so I feel like they are giving him a platform to shine. Phil Foden had a terrible season last season. This season he's getting his form back. He's playing so well this season, getting goals and assists. When Haaland is quiet, then Foden is helping, giving the team goals, assists. His performance this season has been exceptional. I think he's getting back to the form that he was when he got the player of the season. I think City, I won't like say they are truly back this season. Every team in the league is being inconsistent, so I'll not give them I won't say they are truly and completely back, but I think they are working their way up there. They have the players to do it. If they don't lose Haaland or Foden within the season, probably have the chance to win the league again. And you were saying something about Arsenal not having players who guarantee them at least 20 goals. But I feel like in the Arsenal team, they have players who can guarantee them. They have a lot of players who can guarantee them at the very least 10 goals. Trossard, Saka, Jokeres, we don't even really know much, but you should expect that he'll score at least 10 goals in the Premier League. Mikel Merino is stepping up for them. Even when they are losing, he's still scoring goals. Even Odegaard, Martinelli comes off the bench, even Madueke, they have players who chip in with goals. So I feel like they should be creating more chances and scoring more goals than
Yeah,
from
but what
the
I'm
play
saying
that
is
yeah.
they have players that can score those like 10 goals and chip in goals. But the thing is, do they do that consistently? That's the thing. Because, for example, they needed somebody to have stepped up. Yes, Trossard did. But if another person had chipped in with the goals, that's what I'm saying. But your Man City, they know that if Phil Foden gets back to his very best, at least you know that 20 goals is guaranteed. Haaland 30 goals is guaranteed. That's like almost 50 goals. Even if Doku can chip in with 10, that's like 60. Ryan Check even chips with 8. So that's like
That
68.
yeah,
So yeah.
the point I was making about Arsenal is that they don't have a guarantee for 20 or even probably 15 goals. But even if they are not playing at their best, they have players who score at least 10 goals, and they have a lot of those type of players. So I think
Though,
they should be scoring more open play goals.
yeah, they need to down there. I feel like maybe it's also as a result of part of why I feel like since the lost Gabriel and Saliba, their set pieces also have not been on point. So yeah, I feel like if they can get, if the sooner they get them back, the sooner the better for them. But
Yeah,
this sets up nicely for City versus Real Madrid this week. So that match is
yeah.
going to be electric. Yeah, that match is going to be electric. So now then let's move on to Tottenham versus Brentford. This was the best Tottenham match I've seen them play this season. It was also their first win at home since the in the Premier League since the beginning of the season when they beat Burnley 3-0. In this match, Javi Simon was given the freedom. He played the part in both goals. He assisted Richarlison for the first goal. He took his goal brilliantly. And I feel like they could have scored 3 or 4 goals. They made a lot of chances. In this match, there was more chance creation in this match than most of their matches where it felt like everything was you either give it to Kudus or Pedro Porro. This match they actually did one. And if it wasn't for Queen I feel like and they saw that there was some time to complete some of the chances they had, they could have laid down well. So yeah, I feel like this was one of their best performances. And it also eases some of the pressure on Thomas Frank because I feel like if Tottenham had lost, the boost in the stadium would have been crazy, especially losing against his former club. But all in all, if you want to add something to it, or if you move on.
Congratulations to Javi Simons for getting his first goal and getting an assist to win the game. Shouts to him. That's all I have to say for
Okay.
Tottenham.
So then let's move on to the La Liga. Oh no, sorry. I forgot the most important match of all. Liverpool versus Leeds.
Liverpool can't
Liverpool are
catch
not
a
a,
break.
Liverpool are not a serious club. Liverpool are not a serious club.
Oh,
Liverpool, are not, you take the lead on this one. Take the lead on this one. Liverpool are not a serious club.
I don't think it's that much of their fault too. Like, what else can they do? Their defense that game let them down. Apart from that, they scored all the goals they need. And bro, what's his name? Soboslai. Soboslai was one of the best players on the pitch yesterday. His goal and the dummy by uh what's this boy's name?
McAllister.
McAllister. The
McAllister.
dummy by the dummy by McAllister. Beautiful ball IQ. Bro, the first half was dull. The second half, they scored 2 goals. And you're thinking Liverpool are back. You're thinking Liverpool are back and they go and concede a penalty.
I feel like Konate this season has been very, very bad. If let me ask you this thing, if you're Liverpool, will you give him a new contract?
Yes.
You
I'll
would.
give I will
Okay,
give
no,
him a new contract for him to stay there forever and ever. He is
you're a
their
United
maguire.
fan, so you say that you would. But honestly, I feel like what's the name? I feel like he has. I don't think the foul was necessary because I don't think Inyonto was really going anywhere. I don't think the foul was necessary. He did that. He considered a penalty. Then that suddenly gave Leeds a lifeline. Then they scored again to make it 2, and Liverpool made it 3-2. I feel like Liverpool in a situation where when they concede, they don't really believe that they can win the match. I think the only way they can win the match at the moment is if they don't end up conceding. But if they concede at some point, they don't believe that they can win the match.
I think it was terrible set piece defending. I think it was Gravenberg that was marking Tanaka, and he left Tanaka to go for the ball, and Tanaka was left on his own on the back post, and was an easy finish for him. I feel like their defense needs a lot of work. Bro, I don't even know. Even Van Dijk this season has not been his, but he has been bad. Like, beginning of the season, he was okay, but I don't know. Ever since Liverpool started dropping off, his level came
Yep.
down with them. In
No,
fact, the
but
whole
nobody in
team.
the team has been good. And now brings me back to my next question. So I'm sure you have seen Saleh's quotes.
Yes,
So let me ask you, do you think he was in the right or in the wrong for what he said? Because honestly, I feel like he's doing a bit of deflection tactics. That's what I feel like. He's doing. I feel like he's doing a bit of deflection tactics because he has not. I get it. He has not been good this season. And yeah, I get that him being dropped 3 times. He may not like because of footballers want to play, but honestly, him playing and not playing, I don't really know what much difference he makes because it's not like he has been good. So when he plays for them, he doesn't play. It's not really changing anything. So I don't mind them benching him. But the things you're saying that his relationship with Slot is no more good, and
Now he's saying his relationship with the club. I don't think he mentioned the manager's name.
he mentioned the manager. Let me read the quote. I have the quote. I have the quote here. Let me read it for you. He he said a lot of things. Let me start. First, he said it seems like the club has thrown me under the bus. That's how I feel. It seems I could not believe I was on the bench for 90 minutes. I think that this is the third time on the bench. I think it's the first time in my career. Very disappointed. I've done so much for this club, especially last season. I used to have a good relationship with the manager. Now all of a sudden we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. Seems to me like someone does not want me in the club. Yeah, I don't know. Like
Mm.
there's a part where you're saying that he has earned the right. He has feel like he has earned the right to be playing every time. I don't know. If he was playing well, vibe, I'll say he has earned the right. But then again, he has done a lot for the club. For me, it's a weird thing. So I don't fully agree with him because I don't know how talking, seeing all this helps anybody. I don't really know how this coach help Liverpool in any way, shape, or form. It just was like he's doing a Ronaldo. He wants to leave the club, so he's looking
Yeah,
for a way to move on.
but
Is that
okay. You have to look at it from his perspective also. He feels he feels he's one of the best players in the club and he feels he can do more for the team. And he believes in his ability to do more for the team, whether or not he's not playing well so far this season. His mindset is that he can be better. And if he's not on the pitch, he can't prove that. So I think that's where his strife comes from. His argument that's what his argument is based on. Like he should be at least be on the pitch to be able
but
to show that he's not, but 3 games
yeah,
in a row is a long period of time, especially for someone of that level. Last season, he
but yeah,
was,
I get that. But the thing is, how many times has he shown this season that he has been one of the like he can really deliver? How many times has he shown that this
yeah,
season?
but
Not
even when
much.
he's not on the pitch, they are not doing any better. So why was the difference with at least with the Ronaldo situation where Ronaldo was on the bench? United finished third that season. We were playing pretty well even without Ronaldo. So Ronaldo, his own and Ronaldo's own is a bit different because Liverpool in general are playing terribly this season. If he believes he can do something, he didn't even bring him on the pitch in the second half. Like, why didn't he bring Salah on? You need a goal. You are trying to win a game, and at
I
the
mean,
point
they did get. I mean, they did get it to 3-2. So, and the
yeah, yeah,
last, the
at the
last,
point it
the,
was 2-2. He had ample time to bring Salah on. Salah is one of the well, okay. To be fair to the manager, maybe the time was not favorable to bring him on. I don't know.
it's me, honestly, I feel like he's doing a bit of deflection tactics because he has not been good this season. If he has been good, then vibe. Nigga, man, he has not been really good. I feel like he's just trying to find blames and he wants to leave the club. He wants to, I don't know, honestly, so it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation. So, if you're Liverpool, and what to do? Will you what's the name? Will you sanction him, drop him from the squad? I mean, he's going for AFCON. I think the thing is all calculated. He's going for AFCON, so whatever happens, he might not be back until like a month's time. So maybe the time he might be back and the slot might not even be there. So that's also something to consider.
Now, I think at this point, it's not even just with Arne Slot. He has uh, separated his relation. He has destroyed his relationship with the club as well. Not the fans per se, but like the club, the ownership, their management,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So
Be-
I don't even
Because
really think if Arne Slot leaves have to affect him coming back into the team. He has made his mind up. I'm pretty sure he'll leave after the AFCON. I think the next game will be quite awkward for between because he will be on the
yeah,
bench.
yeah,
I think his
yeah.
mind is made up. I think he wants to leave, so you go
And
and
the
do
other
it.
time I said that the whole thing feels a bit weird is they gave me the way he's talking is like Liverpool didn't just recently give him a contract. They gave me a good contract. So to turn around and say they are breaking promises and well, we don't know some of the full stories. So I think that
Yeah.
about to me just a weird one. But for everybody's sake, I think you should just leave. Because even if you to return the players crowd of I think everything just be weird. So now let's move on from Liverpool and their drama. Let's keep getting worse and worse as the season goes by. But this has been one of the worst title defense I've ever seen. A team to win the league, then within 5 months, feel like everything has crumbled. Yeah, and after all the money they've spent, it's been a weird one.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, I think now we can transition to La Liga and Barcelona. Yesterday's match was awesome. I really enjoyed the match. In the lineup was a lineup I had not tried before. I was happy that Rinibaji got a start. He got a start as a right winger. Lamine Yamal played as a 10. Rashford on the left and Ferran Torres as a striker. They really worked well. Rinibaji and Lamine Yamal, they kept interchanging each other. Sometimes Lamine will come to will go to the right, Rooney move a bit in middle. They played very well at first, but usually they did what they usually do. Concede the first goal. Then within 5 minutes, Ferran Torres scored to make it 2-1. In lines combination play, Lamin gave it to Rooney Badji. Rooney gave it to Kunde, and Kunde crossed it for Ferran Torres to make it 1-1. Then Rooney with a nice cross with his right foot to make it 2-1. Ferran Torres finished it to make it 2-1. Rooney then scored to make it 3-1. Barcelona were cruising then Ferran Torres scored the fourth goal to make a deflected shot to make it a hat trick for himself, to make it 4-1. At that point, the match was done. Then second half came. Barcelona got a penalty which for me shouldn't have been a penalty because Rashford shot hit McBatcher's leg. Then the ball bounced from after it hit his leg, it bounced and hit his arm. He was blocking the ball. I don't know how they gave us a penalty because to me it was a weird one. It shouldn't have been a penalty because there was no the ball because what I know that if the ball strikes any part of your body before it hits your hands, they don't usually call that as a penalty
Yeah.
because the ball but they ended up going to VAR. Then they gave it. Like me, Amal scored, made it 5-1. At that point, everything was cruising, everybody was moving. Then Hansi Flick decided to make changes. He took Pedri off, he took Eric Garcia off, he took Balde went off before the second half started. I think he got a knock. So they took him off. Then who else did it? They took Ferran Torres played the full match. So yeah, both of the I don't know after the substitution, I feel like the team got a bit disjointed. So Real Betis a chance. They scored to make it 5-2. That wasn't really concerning. And similar to the tackle that Kunate did against Inyonto, Kunde did similar against I think Abdi. Then Real Betis had a chance. They made it 5-3. The last 6 minutes of extra time was a bit nervy, but they held on and they managed to win. The only thing I'll say is Barcelona needs to be better at closing out games because it can't be leading 5-1 and only to conceding goals like that. Those things don't help. But other than that, yeah, it was a great performance. It was one of the best performances I've seen. Did you
Yeah.
watch the match?
No, but like I saw the lineup and I saw things different. I think having Pedri back
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
boost
having
for
paid
the
you back
team.
to a cheat code.
Yeah. Did he not get an assist or two or go an assist or something like that? But he had
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
But you
Peg,
guys,
he had two assists.
yeah. But you guys, regardless of how much things have changed, you played against Betis and you conceded 3 goals. I don't know how long this thing is sustainable because you are still conceding a lot of goals.
Yeah,
Three,
that's what I'm saying that we have to learn how to close out games better. We have to learn how to close out games because that is something that we are not good at the moment.
yeah,
Because the match could have ended 5-1, but we ended up making silly mistakes to end up bringing it to 3-1 back. Yeah, to end up making it 5-3. But for now, we can at least focus on the positive part, which is the first 60 minutes or so of the match was very good until the changes. So yeah.
yeah.
Think so. Switching to the MLS Cup, Inter Miami beat Vancouver Whitecaps 3-1, and this match was about moments because Messi he was quote unquote anonymous for the most part. He was working on a pitch. I think that's how now he plays because of his age. So the first goal, he had a hand to play in it. A nice dribble, gave the pass to was it Allende also? I forgot. And then Allende's shot was deflected head for an own goal. But the Whitecaps had after Inter Miami scored, the Whitecaps, Vancouver Whitecaps dominated. They could have scored more. They had more of the chances to. Then the second half, Ahmed scored for them. Al Ahmed scored for them. Then they hit the post. Malo Sabi, he hit the post. That was I think that's the when he hit the post. That's have been the sign for the Whitecaps that don't happen because the ball hit both posts. It hit hit the outer post, then hit the inner post of the he hit both posts, both left and right, but didn't enter inside. Then within 10 minutes later, yeah, I'm coming. Let me send it. I'm coming. Within 10 minutes after that, Messi picked the pocket of Kubas. Then he played a pass for Rodrigo de Paul. Rodrigo de Paul then scored to make it 2-1. So that was, I think, about 10 minutes also left on the clock. Then in the 90th minute, Odeawa gave a ball to Messi. Messi just started now. Chip it over for Allende. Allende scored to make it 3-1. Then that was it. Inter Miami became champions. Our Inter Miami's rise has been crazy because before Messi came, they were bottom of the league. Nobody took them seriously now. In the last 3 years, they have won trophies. They won the League's Cup in his first year, his first 6 months there, basically, because he didn't go for a full season. The second season, the supporters, then now they have won the MLS Cup. And also, this was the final match for both Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. So yeah, basically that was it. So now they are done with their season. So yeah, that was it. Now I think that was all for this week. We are recording this episode before the Real Madrid match. That's why I haven't talked about it. So yeah, that brings us to another episode of the Reckoning of Football podcast. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, and
6 million
tell your
ways
friends
to
about us.
die.
Yeah, I
Choose
think yeah,
one.
that was all.